Show up anyway. That was the message today. I have been thinking about what do I record, but I didn't want it to be conjured, so I didn't try not to think too much. But every time it would come to me, what do I talk about today? I've promised myself I'm going to show up. What am I going to talk about? And nothing would come but show up anyway. And that's when I realized, oh, y'all, I'm coming to you with a little bit of an ocean view today. I'll let you see. Ooh, yeah. Ocean view, loving it. I'm out in Hana, which is amazing. So I had to let you see the beautiful backdrop, but we might get some street noise along with that. But yeah, just show up anyway. That was the message. It was like, you don't know what to say. That's okay. Show up anyway. And you will know what to say. Because that's how it works, right? We're co-creators with the divine. And when we show up, Source meets us there. And then we suddenly know, we know what to say. We show up. It's been given to us. And that goes in different directions. So, you know, this is about trusting yourself. This is about creating space for Source to show up with you, to co-create with you, and about showing up even when it is uncomfortable or uncertain. You don't know why, and it feels awkward. You just got to show up anyway. And there's so much power in that showing up. It's like when we show up, Source is going to meet us there. And that is amazing. It's an opportunity for co-creation, but it also creates a channel for divine inspiration, right? Even if we feel unsure or unprepared, showing our trust and our willingness to show up anyway, showing that we trust ourselves to be present, that we're going to keep our word to ourselves, and showing that we trust Source, that we are co-creating and that we're never alone and that it always meets us there. We just show up with that understanding and that trust, and then that develops a better relationship, a better rapport. It strengthens your intuition. It makes things flow. Literally, you're in more of a flow state when you show up and trust, right? And just allow space. And creating space is super important. When we're constantly trying to fill every moment with noise or activity or something, to do, then we don't leave any room for Source to work. Like, that's part of surrender too, right? Is just giving up working out every detail and letting Source show us some magic. And that can even be a thing that you say, like, okay, Source, show me how much you love me. I'm just going to leave some space here. Show me that you want to speak through me. Show me that you have a message for me, that I have a purpose in this world. Whatever the thing is, just show me and leave space for it. Today I ended up with an extra day out here in Hana. I have a gig. I come out here and stay in a very nice place by the ocean, and I thought it was going to be an overnight, which would have been really quick. The road out to Hana is like an hour and a half each way from my house, but minimum on a good day. But I found out today that I actually have 2 nights here, which is great because that meant I had all of today to just whatever. And I started to go into my mind about, like, what am I going to make? What am I going to do? Sure, I know I've got some work that needs to be done, something to work on the personal brand, something to work on this or that, or writing or whatever. And I was like, no, I'm just gonna sit here. And so I sat in a chair that has the same view that you're getting here for a really long time. I don't even know how long, but a really long time. And that space felt good. But I know sometimes, like, get my subconscious in gear, I need to go for a drive. So I tried going for a drive, and nothing was coming to me. So then I went to the Hana Bay, and I went and sat at the beach and just sat there on a bench and watched the water for, I don't even know, this whole thing was probably like 2 or 3 hours. And I just sat there and just stared and watched. And I'm like, okay, it's, getting later in the day. I've got to show up, but I don't know what to say. And it just came through again, show up anyway. And there's so much power in that. And not only just showing up, but in creating the space and allowing the divine to show up for us as well. Like, this isn't a one-way road where we're doing everything, constantly working, proving our worth. That happens in the church a lot, and a lot of spiritual teachings is that we have to prove our worthiness or that we're being tested. And that's not what it is. It's a co-creation where literally we show up and the divine meets us there, and then we create something amazing together using our physicality and our divinity, and this perfect marriage of this human life and what we're living and what we're creating, right? So, just like I remember in yoga, I've been getting back into yoga, and it's something that happens, and I know it's like old wounding, old beliefs, it's in my nervous system. I've done a lot of work around it, but something that happens to me a lot, and you may identify with this. I feel like if you're finding these videos, then there's some string of truth in here for you that you may be identifying with. And there's always, before I go through a big breakthrough, when I commit and I'm like, yes, I'm feeling amazing, I'm gonna be doing yoga every day, get my body back in shape and healthy. Yes, I'm going to do this, and I'm motivated to do this project, and I'm in hyper focus, and I'm working on it. Whenever I really commit to something that's going to be life changing, I get sick, or I get injured, or something very emotional and dramatic happens. Somebody dies, something, you know, and I go through this thing, and it puts everything on hold again. And that happened to me right now. I've got this pinched nerve in my shoulder, and I've been doing yoga every day, dancing every day, feeling so good in my body, and really finding my strength again. Like, I'm in my 40s. I know that it's important to be strong as I get into my middle ages, and to carry that with me, you know, as I age, to have my strength, and to be able to move flexibly and bend my body and use my whole body. So I'm just really committed to doing that. And of course, I have out of nowhere this like clavicle pinched nerve thing. It's been happening for almost 3 weeks now, and I could continue to let that derail me. You know, I've been dancing with it anyway, but I haven't been doing the yoga. I've been avoiding it. But then this message just again show up anyway. And so I'm showing up doing the yoga with the hurt shoulder, and it's actually helping. It hurts at the time. I'm honoring my body. I'm listening when the pain is sharp or tells me to stop. I stop. I don't do poses that aggravate it, but showing up anyway, it's working out the pain. It's working out whatever is going on in here. So that's that trust and that faith, right? Just showing up, knowing that you're not alone, knowing that you're not going to be left stranded, that it's not just you in this world. So just keep showing up, right? It also helps you build confidence, confidence and trust. Like we've got these parts of ourselves, these wounded childhood parts and teenager parts and or young adult parts. We've got these wounded parts in ourselves that we're working with and we're healing. But when we give our word to something and we show up anyway, then no matter what the situation is, we continue to show up. Then it builds that confidence in our ability to show up. And it also builds trust with those wounded parts, with those child parts. Let them know, I am reparenting you. I'm here. I've got us. Things are going differently now than they did before. You can trust me. I see our bigger picture. I am working for our greater good. I'm working for the greater good of all. Giving that inner child and those wounded parts that reassurance, right? That you got them. So it's building confidence in your ability, because when you keep your word to yourself, then that just proves to you that you are someone who keeps their word to themselves, to everyone. Is I'm someone who keeps my word. And the more you keep your word to yourself, the more you believe that about yourself. I'm someone who keeps my word. So when it comes to doing something you've committed to, and then you feel a temptation to like not do it for whatever reason on one day, it gets easier and easier because you've strengthened this muscle and you've strengthened this pathway of belief. I keep my word. When I give my word to myself, I keep it. When I give my word to someone else, I keep it. And it builds your confidence in your ability to continue to show up and to do things and to co-create in this wild, crazy life that we're living, right? So it also demonstrates our willingness. We're not being tested. I don't believe that we're being tested, but I believe that source gives us messages, right? Source gives us, and that's one thing that came up for me a lot. It's like, I was waiting for all of the profound insight before I showed up, because I don't know enough, or what I'm gaining. Other people already know this, and for whatever reasons, like I'm not going to show up every day on YouTube because I don't have enough to say. And Source was like, I'm giving you stuff to say. Say that stuff and you'll get some more. Like, even say the things. There's not like a certain bank of buildup of things that you need to have to say. You're not, it's infinite. This source is infinite, and it's always evolving and expanding. So just show up and say what I've already given you to say, and there will be more to say after that. So I have like so many notes in my phone that I'm going to be getting to and going through, because I have been given so much insight. And when we grow a lot, we expand a lot. You may identify with this. You can kind of get like a cookie monster with like, wow, insight. You just burn through it without integrating it or even sharing it. But we're given this insight to share it with each other so that it can expand. We get more puzzle pieces together, right? And when we're not sharing the insight that we're being given, why would we continue to be given fresh insight just to keep it to ourselves? Maybe not even fully integrate it and remember it ourselves. Because again, when you share it, it spreads that energy, it spreads that consciousness, but it also helps you to remember it. Just like from a practical standpoint, it helps you to remember it yourself, to integrate it into your own life. So, you know, show up anyway when you don't have something to say, and when you do have something to say, you got to show up with it, no matter what you're feeling, or like, I'm not ready, or there's not enough. Like, show up anyway. Just show up anyway. Show your willingness to source, that you're willing to serve, that you're willing to serve by being a vessel, whether that's in your art, your painting, your writing, your performance, your public speaking, your course creation, your personal training, your dog walking business, whatever it is that you're doing. Like, when you show up fully for it, like, it's going to be nourishing you, and it's going to be nourishing all that you're interacting with. That's just the way it works. So you just keep showing up for it, showing up for it. It's showing source that you're willing, and the more that you're willing and the more that you show up for these things, the more you'll be trusted with, and the more it'll grow. And source sees, okay, if I give this person nuggets of gold, they're going to share these nuggets of gold. So let me give her some more nuggets of gold, because she's just going to keep sharing them, and then that gold's going to get spread out everywhere. So give the nuggets, share the nuggets, and you'll get more nuggets. There are infinite nuggets. You're not going to run out. Just share the nuggets. I'm feeling silly today, y'all. I'm so happy. I'm in such a good mood. But yeah, source isn't going to overwhelm us with a bunch of stuff and just for us to hoard it and keep it inside and be afraid to share it. You've got to have some willingness. You got to show that you're willing to do your part. I wrote down an affirmation, you guys. I want to share this with you. So real quick, I want you to just kind of deep breath, repeat after me. I can be trusted with these messages because I will share them with the world. I can be trusted with these messages because I will share them with the world. Whenever source gives you something, a nugget, an idea for a business, for a creation, for anything, conversation, I can be trusted with these messages because I will share them with the world. Okay. Using your voice to serve. Again, it's not just about you. It's about being of service to yourself and to the collective. It's a always working together, right? What serves us serves the collective. What serves the collective serves us. It's all one and the same. So you're showing up for yourself. You're showing up for others. Even if the wisdom that you're sharing, it feels small, even if it's just a tiny, minute thing, even if only 10 people see this and listen to this video all the way through, it's going to create a ripple effect, because there's a shift. These are codes. There's shifts in these things that I'm saying. Even if you've heard them from somebody else and you're just hearing them in a different voice, in a different way, with a different energy, it causes shifts inside. And that shift that's inside of you is going to shift other people that you're around. Some nuggets of this is going to come out in some form, and it's going to have a ripple effect. So even if it seems really small and insignificant, it's not. Share it. And the more you share it, the more you'll be trusted with, right? So I got some practical tips, because y'all know I love some practical tips for showing up anyway, right? So start small. Take one small step today. Record something, write something, speak something, even if it feels imperfect, even if your hair is messy and hasn't been brushed all day. I was having some curls though. It got a little wet in the pool, and I was just like liking the curls that showed up. But even if it's imperfect, even if it's messy, even if you have bad lighting, it doesn't matter. Share what you got to say. When something comes through, even if you've heard it before, share it. It doesn't matter. I've made a commitment to do 100 videos on here. 100 videos. They may be poor quality. They may be boring. I don't know. But I'm just going to do them. And I've made a commitment to show up for these 100 videos, and I'm going to show up anyway. I hope and intend that they will continue to get better. Because again, when we show up, source trusts us with more. So today you got an ocean view. So I feel like that's an improvement if nothing else. But, you know, there may be nobody who watches half these videos, but it doesn't matter. I'm showing up anyway. After making 100 videos, imagine how good I'm going to be at this. Imagine how easy it'll be to speak. Imagine how clearly source will be able to speak through me when I just keep showing up and providing that space and being a vessel. So even if it's one small step, even if you just go write 100 words of that book that you've been wanting to write, go do it. They don't even have to be good words. You don't even have to use them. But I promise you, 100 words of nonsense is better than 100 words of nothing. 0 words of nothing. Create space intentionally. Set aside time for silence, to stare out a window, to just sit there, like not feeling it with music or any, and you can if that helps you, but just silence, just some silence, reflection, meditation, whatever that looks like for you. Allow source and energy to flow. Allow some space where you're not filling up everything with thoughts and anxiety and plans and visions, and just allow space for source to speak directly through you. Gratitude, y'all. Always got to practice, show that appreciation for what's already here, for what's already been shared with us, for what's already been given. um, there's so much beauty and so much wisdom and so much to be grateful for. So share that gratitude, right? That's always going to keep the vibe up. And a couple more affirmations for you. I am willing to show up, and I trust that source will meet me. I am willing to show up, and I trust that source will meet me. I am a vessel for divine wisdom, and I share it freely. I am a vessel for divine wisdom, and I share it freely. Awesome. So I don't know if you saw in the last video I posted, there is a meditation with that, the one before last. There's a couple of meditations, but I just did one recently for taking aligned action. That this would be a great time. Actually, I'll just include it down here for listening to that, taking aligned action. If you want to make some steps and you don't know what's next, that'll help you get in the right space. But either way, show up anyway. I love you. Bye.